Hey guys, today we got a 13 ZL1 and this thing is pretty much bone stock except for the muffler, and we're going to do a pretty decent package to it. So we're going to try and pick up, I would say, approximately 150 wheel horsepower. But first we're going to baseline it. So this is a manual car, and it's pretty cold to be letting it sit here for an idle. So it should be a pretty favorable dyno figure here. Basically, we're going to help this thing breathe a lot better. We're going to do cold air, pulley with the blower, put some injectors in it, flex fuel, and some headers. So this thing should really wake up, but let's see what it does for starters. Not bad at all. Generally pretty rich all the way through the curve. And believe it or not, we're actually maxed out on the injectors stock. So that usually doesn't happen, but for some reason it's just that rich right now. Yeah, the injectors are at 108% duty cycle at 6,300 right there. And this one had 110 at 64. So yeah, she's a little out, but we're gonna be able to take care of that. It's got 20 degrees of timing, 8.5 pounds of boost right there. Boost did continue to go up, but we're gonna go through this thing, go through all the little tricks, and try and show you guys how to make the most power out of an LSA. Travis is ripping off the fuel rail right there. We're gonna take out the stock injectors. So those are like 52-pound stock injectors. We're actually putting in 1,000 cc injectors. So it's actually like about 170% bigger. Those are the thermal reduction plates that we were talking about right there. This is the Mylar. So this is gonna go in the center. That's gonna get cut, taped down, and all that. We swapped out the plugs for some NGK BR70Fs. The headers will be on the way in a short little bit. In the interest of dealing with heat, we're also knocking down the thermostat. So we're going to put a lower, cooler temp thermostat in there and make that all work. All right, so in stock trim, that guy has a 3-inch pulley right there, and we're gonna put a 2.5 in there. Now that's not crazy or anything like that. That's pretty much like a standard upgrade. We could certainly go quite a bit smaller, but what we're trying to do is make the stock fuel system go as far as we possibly can with the 85. We're really shooting for about E50 is what we're after. So that's the difference between the stock 3-inch versus a 2.5 pulley right there. A flex fuel harness right here. This is going to go in line with these guys right here. That one pin goes into the ECU, and this goes to the flex fuel. So that's just a power ground and a signal, and this is the signal wire that reports back the mixture. All right, this is the rough cut first stage right there. Much more material removed, actually quite a bit there. Actually a couple pounds of aluminum. This thing should flow a lot better. Got to cut out some areas right there with the die grinder. It's a little bit big to get in there. It's a little bit fragile. I don't want to damage anything, but on our way to making some power. All right, well, we got our token hockey stick here. The strut actually failed somewhere in the middle of the day here. It was kind of annoying. Well, we got our ported blower on, and we got our thermal plates, and you can see them right there. So those are our heat barriers that we were talking about. And down under there, you can kind of see some of our Mylar that we got underneath the blower right there, and that is helping limit the heat. So we're getting ready to put the lid back on here. We got the flex fuel partly on, pulley is on. We're making some good progress.
What are those?
Got this thing all back together here. 2.5 pulley on the top end, ported blower by Fasterproms. We got a 850cc injectors in there, flex fuel. We've got a stock throttle body and stock exhaust. Now it does have a catback, and it's got a big old 5-inch intake. So we have, we're testing this out, and we basically wanted to check this while we're waiting for the other parts to arrive. We're waiting for headers, and we're also waiting for a 103mm throttle body. So we're gonna see what those do, but right now, this is a very entry-level pulley. I mean, this is really like the standard one of what you would go to. We want to keep the boost low so that we have just enough to be able to squeeze about 50% D out of this thing. So without any further ado, let's find out what this thing is going to do. Our baseline was really about 500 wheels underneath the curve. Actually, if we check that out, look at that right there. There's some areas right under here where we're up almost 120 horsepower. Yeah, right there. It's 115, 117, and it kind of fades a little
little bit on the top. We're actually leaning out a little bit more than I kind of expected right there. It is making a little bit more boost than I expected.
But we're right at about 14.7 pounds of boost. I did have a little bit of knock on that pull right there. So when we do the next round of modifications with the headers as well as the throttle body, we're going to hopefully end up about the same amount of boost, because again, we're working within the confines of this fuel system. We're trying to save this customer some money, 16, 17, 1800 bucks, something like that. So if we keep it within these confines, it'll be a lot more power than what we had. This is on 93 right now, so we're gonna add a little 85. I'm gonna take care of the area that it's lean, but point being, when we do the headers, we're gonna drop a little bit. With the throttle body on there, we'll probably gain a little bit back, but we're probably gonna end up at about the same place as where we're at right now. We may even go from an 850cc to a 1000cc injector. That's not the problem. The main problem is the fact that the fuel pressure drops so much. So we take a look right there. At the beginning of the pull, it's like 60 pounds, and then it trails right here down to 45, and then all the way down to 39.6 on the top end there. So the injector is really performing at half of what it should be if it had enough fuel volume right there. But everything looks really, really efficient. I'm really happy with that. We're kind of running into some octane limitations. We're going to throw some E in there and then really kind of push it, but to kind of show you what this thing will be able to do. So we're only going to run probably like a 50% blend or less. All right, fellas, this is about the max on this current set of mods. So we're gonna change some stuff up and kind of take you guys to the next level. But what's really awesome about this is that this thing has picked up so much torque. As you can see in that one area that where the cursor is, the thing's up over about 100, almost 170 pound-feet of torque. We're up 124 horsepower peak, and we're starting to lean out. We're pretty much running into the max of the fuel system right here. So with the next round of modifications, hopefully we'll be able to kind of keep that at bay, or maybe lower the heat content, but we should be able to make it work. 5,600 RPM, and we are running out of fuel system. The duty cycle, so here's our fuel pressure. All the way at the top right here, it's 36 pounds of pressure. I have commanded about 87 pounds. But the duty cycle is about 97% right there, so it's pretty much, if I were to go a couple hundred RPM beyond that, I know that it's gonna be well over. If you take that line, we're going to be well into like 120% duty cycle if I were to really rev it out. Pretty awesome round of modifications. This thing is going to be so much faster than what it was. But the next round is going to be even better. With our headers, I was able to add a little bit more timing because we dropped a little bit of boost. Yeah, we got some pretty nice 2-inch stainless headers on here from Speed Engineering. Worked out really, really nicely. It shows in the fact that it dropped a little bit of boost that it is more efficient and can actually push that charge out. So yeah, picked up about another 20 some odd horsepower, and we got a little bit more room in the fuel system, but we're still maxed out. So that's going to lead us to the next stage. You guys, the ZL1 actually has the lowest factory fuel pumps of all the fuel pumps of all the supercharged cars. So this has like two 225 fuel pumps in it. And we came to the edge of pretty much what that fuel system can do, at least with E. It's just a lot safer to be able to run it on E and be able to make more power. So that being said, we're kind of at the limitation of that fuel system, and we're right about 630 wheel or so. What we've decided to do is actually put a booster pump. Now this thing has a fuel pump control module. We've already ramped up that fuel pump control module pretty good, but it is at the absolute limit of what we can push out of those factory pumps. Now the only way to get more out of that is to be able to jump the voltage up a little bit more, and that's where you're going to use the Kenny Bell booster pump. Now it's not a common thing on a lot of the GM stuff, but this customer is at the edge of his budget right here, and I gave him an option, and I wanted to kind of experiment a little bit with it. The first option would have been, you know, put some fuel pumps in it, and all said and done, we probably would have been about $1,500 to $2,000 more on the bill. But with the Kenny Bell booster pump, we were able to do it for the cost of the Kenny Bell, which is about $350 and about 2 hours labor. So roughly about another $300 or so. Now this is a deadhead system, so we have to be able to throw just more in it. So check out what we got here. This is the A to B of when we first put in the Kenny Bell booster pump. 20% more additional fuel right in this area right here.
So now we're going to go ahead and try and tweak that and see if we can get a little bit more power out of it by getting a good stable air fuel graph all the way through.
Got a giant 5-inch intake here, and we've got a big ported blower that's ported to 103 that we had ported, but we've got this small little stock throttle body in here. What we're going to do is we're going to try and see if this is the bottleneck, which we do believe that it is quite the bottleneck, but I wanted to show you guys what we believe that it may be able to pick up. We're going to change this out. This is an 87 millimeter. We're going to go to a 103 millimeter, and typically we would really recommend that this blower gets a Nick Williams 103 millimeter throttle body, and that will help that thing breathe a lot easier. Sometimes we've seen over 30 horsepower, but let's see what it does on this application. Oh my gosh. And a little more up top. When we were putting that coupler on, I actually noticed that the coupler is now a little smaller than the throttle body. So I think that we would probably pick up a little bit more had we had the appropriate throttle body. Yeah, but we made a little bit more boost up top. So let me see how much it was.
Dude, I saw 142 mile an hour just like that.
Yeah.
It's like 60 to 140 in like 3 seconds.
I was really hoping that we were going to be able to hit 700 wheel. We're not quite there. We did make 14.7 PSI. Now guys, this is on the entry level pulley. This is just a 2.5 pulley. We oftentimes run a 2.31, but given the budget constraints of this, I wanted to show you guys every step of the way how we can be able to make much more power. But yeah, 202 kPa, so that's just over 14.7 pounds of boost. And that's really not that much more. We're just getting this whole package to be able to breathe a lot better. So I'm super pumped with this. I'd like to say thanks to Nick Williams for all this. Kenny Bell Booster Pump. You can get everything that you have here. We can build this as a Fasterproms package, and we've done this for years and years. The parts have gotten better and better, and we can make more and more. But I wanted to show you guys that it's almost possible to hit 700 wheel with very basic entry-level modifications. So. Got a little greedy, decided I was like, you know, we can push a little bit more E in there, and now we're back to maxing it out. But hey, we're beyond that. Let's check the percentage real quick here, because we're way high now. Yeah, we're about 66% E right now, so we're almost on full E, but I wanted to try and see if it makes 700. But dude, 696, I'm calling that 700, dude. We're good. 680, dude, super pumped. This is gonna be a night and day different car. We're gonna limit the car and limit the customer to run E50, so that'll be equal parts E. So that's 7 gallons of this, 7 gallons of that, easy peasy. You can run 93 if you want, but this thing absolutely rips, dude. I'm super pumped with the results from this. Tell some stuff that you took home from this.
A lot of stuff that I did was utility based, you know, turn this off, turn this on, but taking away a lot of the actual fuel map tuning is going to be very helpful to, you know, not only making adjustments to my car that I drive daily, but also any build that I want to.
Even to the novice, we're hoping to try and equip somebody with a lot of good tools, and you could probably even street tune it yourself at this point now.
Yeah, absolutely. And even just taking the engine that I have and putting that into a vehicle and knowing what I need to do to swap it over or turn things off is definitely keep me out of the red.
What we're also trying to do is be able to give people, you know, a little bit more confidence, and let's make that project a little bit more radical because it can be managed, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty smart guy, got a big computer background, but tell us some of the stuff that you learned.
Well, I have a lot of experience with running cars on the dyno, being that Travis and I run a dyno shop in Pennsylvania. Done some adjustments here and there, but this really helped me put together how everything works together, how all the different tables play, even some of the troubleshooting and how I guess different ways to go about it.
Everything is correlated, everything references one another. You know, you're not looking at one thing, it's not one-dimensional, it's very much three-dimensional, if not more than that.
I'd run into things where, you know, I'd be changing a setting or changing a few things, and I wouldn't be seeing any results. And then I would notice on my own that, oh, wait a second, it looks like this table is a multiplier, or this table is referencing another table in some way. And I didn't have a full grasp on just how many things are intertwined and how they all kind of work together as a whole. So that was one of my big takeaways from this week. I had a great time with everyone here. It was a great group of people, and you're a good teacher, Jeremy.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching. Life's been a little bit busy, a little crazy and stuff, but thank you so much for tuning in and seeing what we got going on. I want to give you guys an update of things that have been changing around the shop. There's been quite a few things, in fact. Yeah, we've got a number of projects coming up, and I'm really actually excited about a new engine platform that's at least new to us. Can't wait to share that with you guys, but it'll be coming up very, very soon. So again, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe. It definitely helps us grow a little bit. Also, check out our Instagram. And if you are interested in our tuning school, that helps tremendously. That helps fund our other projects and so on and so forth. Also, we have, you can always get a hold of us for local dyno tuning, as well as for mail order tuning, and check us out. We got a lot of injectors and stuff for sale as well. I want to share a quick little word of wisdom with you guys, and that was, regardless of whatever's going on in the world, kind of from church today, it was kind of like, hey, look, be still and know that I'm God. It's a very, very important thing in the midst of a whirlwind, but regardless of whatever's going on, He's always in control. So also wanted to share something with you here. I was just messing around on a guitar the other day, and I was kind of playing around with something. A song I used to really, really love when I was a teenager was Green Day, Longview. Love that bass line. Hope you guys enjoy it. God bless you. We'll see you next episode.